I'm Locke Wilford with 3 big reasons to buy at Dublin Nissan. Price, selection, and savings.
Drive the Rogue SV for as low as $26,740 with 0% financing.
Get more Nissan for your money at Dublin Nissan.
Drive the Altima SV as low as $23,725.
I'm Don Carswell. For every vehicle we sell in October, we'll be making a donation to the fight to end breast cancer.
Call, click, or come see us. Dublin Nissan, the only dealer you will ever need.
Hello, football fans, and welcome to this week's Trinity Head Football Coaches Show. I'm your host, Michael Maffett, here with Coach Jimmy Fields. And Coach, we went back on the road this past week down to my old stomping grounds where we went to college down in Statesboro, Georgia, and we took on the Bullock Academy Gators. And it was a wonderful night for football. The temperature had gotten just right, and the Trinity faithful did a really good job showing up. I know the results on the football field is not what we want, but we grew as a football team. And I thought we played real well.
Yeah, the strides that we're taking right now, Michael, unfortunately are not resulting in wins. But there were some strides I know that our coaching staff, after looking at film, there were some strides our young man took on the field. The first half, you and I were talking off camera, resembled a little bit of the Frederica game where we found ourselves down 3 scores. But that first half was kind of back and forth. Could have gone either way. We were playing well at times, gave away some things defensively, some big plays, and weren't able to, capitalize on some things offensively there. So we go into halftime, even though you're down 3 scores, our kids knew we were capable, what we were capable of doing. They knew what happened the week earlier where we come out the third quarter against a good Frederica team and played really well. And kind of turned the tide, making a 1-score game, which stayed to the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, we come out the third quarter and facing, again, a lot of credit to Coach Pat Collins and the Bullock Academy Gators. They have a really fine football team. They really capitalized on some of our mistakes. 2 turnovers there deep in our own territory that gave them a short field. But a lot of credit has to go to them. They stepped up and made plays. So we were already in a hole going into the third quarter and just kind of dug ourselves a little bit deeper hole there. Unfortunate. But there's, when a team is growing, there's always highlights. I wish there were 30 or 40 clips that we could show, but there are clips, that verify that, our kids are playing hard. They're getting better. Whether it be the kicking game, defense, offense, Michael, they're making some strides. So we're pleased with that. You do what you do. You go to work. And these young men this week, have gone to work at practice. They came in, watched film, and you continue to fight. That's the thing we've emphasized. Paul said, I've fought the good fight. Well, the fight that we fight, whether it be a high school football season or life, it's a struggle. And certainly, right now our win-loss record in what we would hope for, what we had planned. But I tell you, I'm so impressed with these guys as they are growing into young men, growing into champions on and off the field. So proud of them and the fight that they show, and need to step up and make plays. Losing is never acceptable. And I'm encouraged when I go to practice, when I see, despite our setbacks, I see a group of young men that are determined to fight and come back each week. And they had their moments, in these 4 quarters against Bullock.
Right. From a fan perspective, me kind of stepping back and watching it from certainly a different vantage point than you have 11 wonderful seniors, and they're out there giving it all they got. I mean, and you can truly see that each and every Friday night. But the one encouraging thing that we take as fans sitting a little back from you is you've got some young pups coming along. You got some juniors, you got a large sophomore class, and you got a couple of freshmen that are already playing, and each down that progresses through the year, and you're the football coach, not me, so I don't have to tell you this, but from a fan perspective, it's awesome to watch those young men, those younger people start coming into their own, and each snap matters.
That it really does. It's an opportunity to get better. It's an opportunity to fight. And, you know, we've challenged, you know, our younger players, you know, it's time to step up, you know, this season. And as we enter, you know, our last road contest that we'll talk about, I'm sure, after the break here a little bit, we're going to continue to face challenges. And it's time for those young guys, like our older guys, to step up, and they've done that. It's an opportunity for them. You know, probably some of these guys, it would be better if they could get their game experience in a JV game situation. Right. But because of our depth, because of maybe lack of depth and injuries, these kids are getting to play Friday night, which, you know, you can't just, you know, view as, well, that's a bad thing. No, that's a good thing. They're getting that experience. They're getting the opportunity to get better, and they're learning from it. You know, each week it shows, you know, their continued improvement. So real proud of that, real proud of the way they fight. You know, coaching is teaching. You know, it's a process. So yeah, you go back to work, you find ways, you know, how can we teach a little better this week than we did last week? So we continue to do that. But you got to have students, you got to have players that want to learn, that want to get better. And that's the one thing, you know, I talked to you off camera about, that I'm so proud of our Trinity football team, even the seniors, you know, who in their senior year, they're continuing, not just wanting to play hard, but wanting to learn, wanting to, you know, improve their play, their technique. So that makes practice productive. Right. When you have a combination of older players and younger players, no matter what grade they're in, they're wanting to get better. They're wanting to practice. They're wanting to, you know, correct those mistakes that we find on film.
Right. No doubt, trial by fire, and that's a lot what they're experiencing right now. One thing I will mention, and I feel certain we'll see it on the highlight clips, is we got to see a touchdown pass from a brother to another brother. Senior David throwing to his freshman.
Yeah.
So that was pretty neat, and I'm sure Jim's very excited to catch that pass.
You know, Jim, our freshman, also the backup quarterback to his older brother. You know, a lot of athletic ability, but more important than that, you know, both Jim and David have athletic ability, but more than that, like many of our kids, it's kind of the character they exhibit. You know, whether it be at practice or in a game or off the field, they're leaders. You know, they're character leaders, because as you and I talked about, our Trinity kids, you know, being a leader is not just, you know, throwing touchdown passes or winning games. It's who you are. You know, it's who you are, you know, in the hallways. It's who you are as a leader, right. You know, in the community. And both Jim and David, as well as, you know, many guys on our football team, exhibit that, and so proud of them. But that was special, I know, for Mom and Dad to get to sit there and watch. You know, I've heard stories from the parents of where didn't know as they were growing up the natural, you know, sibling fights and rivalry there. But, you know, so it's good for the parents to see them get along together and actually, like you said, David was able to complete a touchdown pass to younger brother Jim. I'm sure those stories will grow and grow. I think Jim will take credit for it, but then David will take credit for it, and they'll probably sit around the table for years to come and talk about that.
Well, there's no doubt they'll remember it for the rest of their lives. So that's just something that we wanted to point out. Well, we're going to take a break, say thanks to our sponsors. Remember, they're the reason this show happens, outside of these young men who give it their all each and Friday night. So if you see those sponsors, please take time to say thank you. When we come back, we're going to look at last week's highlights from Bullock Academy.
Bailey's Flooring is a proud sponsor of high school football. Count on the team at Bailey's Flooring for quality name brand carpet and flooring with professional installation. Bailey's Flooring has all the latest product innovations and is a proven contractor of commercial and residential customers. And check out the selection of vinyl and carpet in stock at Bailey's Flooring. Call 290-6084. Real people steal people. They want real power, real options, real value. Right now, get real savings on chainsaws, blowers, hedges, string trimmers, and more. The #1 selling brand of handheld outdoor power equipment in America. This fall, get a real solution. Get a Stihl from Midstate Tractor and Equipment, 1325 North Jefferson in Dublin. When you want convenience, you want Neighbors Express, where you'll always find friendly, courteous service every time you visit us. Fill up with pay at the pump. Take advantage of our bigger and better selection of beverages and tobacco products. Enjoy our popular crushed ice with your favorite fountain drink. And you can always enjoy a fresh hot breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So stop by and see us today, where it's always convenient and friendly. Neighbors Express, locations at I-16 at 441 and in Cedar Grove, where we provide farm fuel for all our customers. When you want convenience, you want Neighbors Express.
Hey, want a successful career? Start with an education that puts you front and center with hands-on experience. An education that will prepare you for opportunity in 2 years or less. An education that's fast and affordable. Most OFTC students graduate debt-free thanks to the Hope Career Grant, which offers free tuition in more than 63 programs. Think differently about college. Choose OFTC for an education that's fast, local, and debt-free. OFTC is an equal opportunity institution.
Jeff Shepard here at Roach Farm and Garden. Deer season is here. Come to see us at Roach Farm and Garden. We got all your deer hunt necessities. We carry 5-way, 3-way, Harvest Advantage, iron clay peas, wheats and oats, daikon radishes, a bruiser rye, and big boss rye, buck forage and annual rye. We will make your food plots look right. We have all your supplies of deer feed, 17 and 24% protein, QDM and 4S. We even carry 4S draw in the block and bags. And when you get that deer, we've got something to cook him with, from grills to griddles to your deep fryers. You want clothes? We got a full line of Georgia boot, Rocky boot, and all the Carhartt that you could need. And for your pelletized grill, we have any flavor you need. We have ladder stands by Millennium and Amerstep, replacement seats, protein blocks, salt blocks, and attractants, and a full line of coolers. And don't forget to pick your supply up of Voodoo while you're in there. It's at the counter. Don't forget, everything you need for deer season is right here at Roach Farm and Garden. 2 locations, Wrightsville and Dublin.
All right, welcome back, fans, and these are the highlights from this past Friday night's game against Bullock Academy.
Bullock had a very strong place kicker. One of the few kids we see that's able to consistently put that ball in the end zone. So we see the opening kick here, very strong kick going into the end zone. In high school, of course, that's a touchback, and there even has altered the rules even on college games and Sunday games, where a kid even can catch it in bounds or, within the field of play and still call a fair catch and get it at the 20 or 25. But of course, this will come out to the 20, and these are some clips. This first clip is from our first possession on defense. Unfortunately, the first possession ended, with a punt on offense. So we go to work here on defense, and you can see some good defensive work there from linebacker Ben Butler in on the play. Later the same drive, you can see they're in the red zone there, threatening, but a pretty good goal line play here by Carson Hall and sophomore linebacker Kyle Curry. Good play by the defensive line that kind of set that up there. Carson Kite doing a good job there at defensive tackle. Unfortunately, we gave up a score a few plays later, so we're down here, but we go back to work on offense. A rocket play, a sweep play, good blocking on the perimeter there by Chandler Asbell and Trey Miller, 2 of our juniors, along with Wade Walker, another junior there. And so a good positive play there for our offense. I believe this is the same drive where we basically run the same play the other way. This has been a big play for us. Walker Payne, exceptional speed, has provided some problems for the defense, no matter who we play. But he's, each week, like we said, there's continued to be improved play along the offensive line on the perimeter block, and that's one thing that's really improved that play. Now we fake the play on the rocket and hand back a belly trap to senior Carson Hall. Makes a really good run there, decides to break it out and turns it in actually to a first down run there. So good blocking up front for him, a good run by Carson. Here comes the touchdown play in the first half. It was actually a waggle intended to be a play action waggle pass play. The routes were covered. He was well protected, and he saw a lane there to cut back. And I think our viewers can see the running ability of David Coleman. Obviously, Has good speed, maybe not the speed that Walker Payne has, but that's what makes David such a good quarterback. We know his arm strength. We know he has the ability to throw well, and he does that. But Coach Trent Sinkbell has no problem seeing him tuck this ball and take off running. Good downfield block there by Walker Payne, and he dives in there for the score. So good play, good execution there. When it's covered, take what they're giving you. Good extra point here, improved blocking there, good snap by Trent Whittington, good hole by Walker Payne, and a good place kick there by David. And that's something we've asked him to do. We've got a couple of freshman kickers in Blake Kendrick and Zane Shirley, but we ask our senior also to help out there. We get the end zone shot of a good defensive play there. I believe that's Trent Whittington and Carson Kite. We get a side copy here of, I believe, a different play. There was a good stop here for us by sophomore linebacker Kyle Curry. Same play here, you'll almost see Kyle looks like he's diving over there to trip him up. Good play there by Carson Hall, securing the edge. You can see they're in the red zone. Our kids here really play good, at times, play good red zone defense. That's a good stop there by senior Carson Hall, by senior defensive end Peyton Howard. A lot of Peyton there you see. He's taking on that double team and clogs the hole and makes it available for Carson Hall and Kyle Curry to clean up and make the tackle. Good slant pass here to junior Chandler Asbell. Reached out there with one hand and made a big grab that with his forward progress gave us a first down. Good throw and catch, good route, and real pleased with Chandler's improvement over the season. He's got good size, got good athletic ability, but real excited for him and the progress he's made. This is actually right before halftime where they're driving potentially to score, and they'd run this play earlier, and Ben does a good job of covering it, and when they motioned to one back, we were ready for it, and Kyle Curry, their quarterback, pulls it down and had an opportunity to gain the first down here, but Kyle stayed at home, spying the quarterback, and made the tackle, which forced them into this field goal try to where, looking at it, I believe they had the fake all along, here, and senior Peyton Howard really makes a big play for us there. Nothing was open down the field. Number 9, their normal quarterback, is in a position to run it, and Peyton Howard, you can see there, if he doesn't make the tackle, it's going to be, close to the goal line. But a big play there before halftime. We come back to second half of action, and we get a turnover. This was later in the game. We're well into the fourth quarter here, and a good play against their veer play to where Carson Hall squeezes down, gets a good hit on it. Actually, that's Zach White, ends up with the turnover there. I believe Trent Whittington caused the fumble, and Zach White recovered it. Here's another scramble play for about 20 yards by David Coleman, and again the protection broke down a little bit, but having a quarterback that has the ability to scramble and make plays, not just with his arm, but David can make plays as we saw in the first half with his legs here, and he turns something in that may have been negative into a real positive, a 20-yard gain for us. We go back to a waggle play here, and junior Trey Miller comes up with a big catch for us. Good throw by David. Good pattern that run there by junior Trey Miller, and real proud of Trey. Prior to this season, hadn't started and came in and took over the job at tight end and has been very consistent for us, not just catching the football at times, but, has really improved his blocking, and real proud of Trey. An 8-yard completion here where we fake the rocket and toss it out to the tailback, which actually right now Jim Coleman is playing that. He's in for an injured Walker Payne. We come back here and you'll get to see the end zone copy. We got several routes on the play, but David opts to throw the short route out there to his younger brother. There were some good things, not as many clips as we'd like to share, Michael, but we did see improvement. We did see our kids fight for 4 quarters at times, and we'll build on that. Well, we got a big challenge this week, and I'm sure we'll talk about that.
We will, no doubt, Coach. I think when the season's over and you look back, you're going to find out that Bullock Academy had a really, really good football team. And speaking of a good football team, when we come back from this break, we're going to talk about next week's opponent, Pinewood.
Community Bank of Dublin Lawrence County is here to help you with all of your financial needs. Our team knows what it takes to make life easy and convenient and will help you get set up with our mobile and online banking. We founded Community Bank on common sense banking and a dedication to help people just like you. Our lender, Amy Thompson, loan officer, Gail Rainey, along with our Assistant Vice President, Ryan Lastinger, Executive Vice President, Brian Bazemore, and President CEO, Chuck Harwell, know what it takes to make life easy and convenient and can help you with loans for almost everything, from your automobile, home, land, or any financial goals you have. Come visit us today. Community Bank of Dublin Lawrence County, where common sense banking never goes out of style.
Hey, how you doing? Eric Kate City.
I'm good.
Brad Grimes.
I think I'm smelling some gas in my yard out here.
All right, and what area are you smelling at?
Over here in this area, the meter's on that side over there.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna check the meter and make sure there's not a leak there.
Okay.
Then we'll locate the line out and put down a couple holes just to check on the ground to make sure you don't have a leak. We'll check each corner of your house. If you could, just stay on the porch.
Okay.
If you think you have a gas leak, we're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Call us at 478-277-5048.
I'm Glenn Register at Hometown Supply. Want to wish all our area schools the very best in the upcoming season. Hometown Supply, located in downtown Dublin, is here for all your home and hardware needs. We offer new and used appliances, both gas and electric. Competitive prices on electronics and computers, including cell phones, laptops, and tablets. We have service people on staff, a repairman for our appliances, and a computer technician for our electronics. Come by and see how we can help. Just remember, if you can't do business here, you just can't do business.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
All right, welcome back, sports fans and Coach. Thanks for going through those clips with us. But looking forward, each week we go through the clips from the prior week, but each and every week we got to look forward to. And this week we're back on the road 2 weeks in a row. I think that's the first time that's happened this season. But we're going down to Belleville, Georgia, to play Pinewood. So what do you expect to see out of those guys?
Well, Coach Keith Wasson, Pinewood is the last few years. Coach Wasson would tell us, they've been in a rebuilding. But certainly in some regards, they've always been a very tough, hard-nosed, well-coached football team. But this year, they only have 1 defeat at the hands of John Millage, a very hard-fought game. They're at the top of our region right now, undefeated. And like I said, the only 1 setback coming earlier in the season at John Millage. They're a fine football team, one of the better AAA teams in the GISA. So a tremendous challenge, and a tremendous road challenge going on the road to Belleville. Pinewood is a great atmosphere. The school there and what they do, it creates a great Friday night light experience. So we'll have a tremendous challenge, but we're looking forward to it. We've had a good week of practice, preparation. They, like I said, that team has really come together this year. Got a young quarterback that's really playing well for them, some good skilled people around him. They do a good job, they'll run the spread, you'll see the shotgun, but they're still a very physical football team. They'll run a lot of 2-back sets from the gun, and that's just the Pinewood tradition of always being very hard-nosed, going back, years ago. You could always expect it to be a very physical contest, hard-nosed football, and even though they're in the gun, make no mistake about it, they're a very physical football team, offensively and defensively.
Right. Practice-wise, do you feel like you got all your players back this week? Does everything look good?
Yeah, we got some players back. Even a lot of our viewers, Mitchell Gay, he's still, we thought we had, it was a season-ending injury, and obviously we're in game 9. He won't play this week, but he has been back on the practice field. And so if everything goes well this week, he'll be back week 10. Of course, it's the last game, but he's excited about that, and we're excited anytime a youngster can get to participate. We're excited about that. We're banged up a little bit. We got some kids back. Right now Walker Payne is questionable. Going out in the second quarter, we'll just kind of wait and see. Carson Hall took a hit, an injury possible that makes him questionable for the game, and Carson Hall's been playing really well at fullback and outside linebacker. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. But as always, our football team has responded, whether it be the youth of our football team, whether it be having to overcome some injuries and other people stepping up. I know there'll be people step up this Friday night. There's been people step up this week at practice. So we'll continue to learn, we'll continue to grow, and I know it's going to be a good night, great night at Pinewood. In fact, another big test, from a very good football team. But we're taking it, the next 4 quarters. The challenge of the next 4 quarters. It just happens to be on the road against a very good football team, and we'll turn the focus and attention to Trinity football. What do we need to do? We need to take care of our execution. In the special teams, it's a game of field position. We need to take care of our responsibilities. Let's do what we do. Offensively, let's take care of the football. Let's execute blocking assignments and skill players executing their assignments. Defensively, let's get lined up correctly against the different formations, and let's execute our gap assignment. Let's do that, and then the winning, the success, that's going to take care of itself. When we get 11 people playing with that kind of enthusiasm and executing, good things can happen. We've seen it before, and I know we're going to see some success. Hopefully we make enough plays to be in a position to win the football game. That's what we're planning on doing. That's why we're cranking up the bus Friday. Right. So it's going to be an exciting night, going to be a challenging night, but we're looking forward to it.
Good deal, Coach. And you said stepping up. The Trinity faithful always step up. We expect to see a big crowd leave Dublin and head down to Belleville. And Coach, that's a wrap for this show. As I say, each and every week, do your best to get out and support all these young men, whether it be Dublin, East Lawrence, West Lawrence, or Trinity. Please support these young men who pour their hearts out each and every week for this community. See you next week.
At Morris Bank, we understand that your personal finances and banking experiences can be stressful. We also know that it doesn't have to be that way. That's why for over 60 years, we've dedicated ourselves to providing common sense banking to people just like you.
Even when I started working here, there was a definite vibe that you felt when you walked in the door, from the music that you're always going to hear playing to the hello, good to see you, welcome, how can we help you? It's just a different experience when you bank here.
We work hard to combine the latest online mobile technology and top-notch customer service that allows us to do just that.
We realize our customers have choices, but what sets us apart is the personal service that we provide that they may not receive at larger institutions. We like to make you feel at home, and we like to make the process as easy as possible when you're banking with us.
But we're not focused on helping just our customers. We are equally dedicated to supporting the community we are a part of. Just this year alone, we've logged thousands of community service hours and provided significant financial support to the communities we serve.
Something that sets us apart at Morris Bank is what we give back to the communities in which we serve. And as the communities continue to grow, that brings more business and more industry into the area. And it's just this circle effect of giving back and receiving what the community can offer.
We want to make sure you have the best banking experience possible. Come see us or give us a call to find out what makes Morris Bank different, because we're banking on you.